As emphasized in my two previous videos, I prefer the Xiaomi CW300 over CW400 for three reasons. Una sa lahat, mag-subscribe muna kayo sa aking channel para suportahan ito. You may also join this channel as a member to avail of exclusive perks like priority in comments reply and early access or exclusive access to some videos for members only. You can also help fund some projects here by sharing super thanks. This camera is huge. It occupies my entire palm. Its base diameter is about 10 cm. Or about 4 inches, while the height is about 5.5 inches or about 14 centimeters. And this weighs half a kilo. The various parts of the camera is pretty basic. The block cover here protects the infrared sensors inside. And at the center is the 4 megapixel lens. Just below the lens are the two white spotlights, and above the lens is the microphone and the indicator light. You need to tilt down the camera head to reveal a protective compartment which has the SD card slot and the reset button. Be sure to tightly close this using this rubber cover. And at the back is the speaker grill. This is a dual gimbal type camera because the camera head can move horizontally and vertically at the same time. The camera head tilts up and down up to 160 degrees and can pan up to 360 degrees. This is the front of the camera. The name Xiaomi here is inverted because this should be positioned like this so that the camera head can tilt down perpendicular to the wall and it can see below it. For this camera, Xiaomi uses 12-volt power supply, hence it is using this 3.5 mm power jack. Insert the male jack of the adapter to the female jack of the camera. Then the adapter is a 12-volt 1 ampere with a 3-meter cable. And here are the reasons why I chose CW300 over CW400. One, both have almost the same specs. Check this chart here. Two, the CW300 is the first Xiaomi camera with dual connectivity feature. And three, the CW300 is much cheaper than the CW400 despite it has almost the same specs. Aside from Wi-Fi only, the CW400 only differs on its capability to record time-lapse video. To give more context to this review, I am going to do a limited comparison between Xiaomi CW300 and my other outdoor camera, Tapo C320ws, which is also a 4-megapixel camera like the CW300. However, the CW300 has a larger aperture of 1.6 compared to C320ws 2.2. Also, the C320ws is a fixed camera while the Xiaomi CW300 is a dual gimbal camera that is capable of panning 360 degrees and tilting up to 160 degrees. There are other similarities for both cameras. It uses 850 nanometer infrared sensors, two white spotlights, up to 256 gigabytes of SD card storage capacity, IP66 rating, light and sound alarms, and both are capable of Wi-Fi and LAN cable connections. If you wish to know more about Tapo C320ws wired connection, check my previous video. For this comparison, let me emphasize that the Tapo C320ws is connected via LAN cable while the Xiaomi CW300 is connected via Wi-Fi. The first time I saw the live stream of this camera, I told myself something is wrong or something is lacking on this image. So if you compare this with the Tapo C320ws, there you can see the difference. The C320ws of Tapo, it's brighter actually, and the contrast is just enough. But if you try to check uh, the CW300, the contrast is high and looks like there's not enough light. This is much closer to what I can see or to what my eyes can see. So it means it's darker. Now we'll try to turn on the lights here. Look at that. You see? It's more brighter now. It's a little closer to Tapo's C320ws. I set last night the night vision function to night vision mode, which supposedly delivers black and white images by using the camera infrared sensors. Dito sa recordings ng camera mula kagabi, titingnan natin anong itsura ng nakuha niya na videos. Ito, 11 o'clock ng gabi. It's in full color. Midnight, full color. 1 o'clock hanggang 3 o'clock. Ganun pa rin siya in full color. Ibig sabihin, there's enough light kaya hindi automatic nag-change from color mode to night vision mode. So, hindi gumagana yung IR or yung infrared sensors niya kasi there's enough light. This is the daytime shot of Xiaomi CW300, and if you compare that with the Tapo C320ws, there's really a big difference. You can see here, it's so bright, okay? And if you check CW300 of Xiaomi, the shadow is too dark, okay? If you check the actual scene, the shadow is too dark. The image of the Tapo C320ws is more or less similar to the actual scene. And I am surprised because the C320ws has only 2.2 aperture, while the Xiaomi CW300 has 1.6 large aperture. Supposedly, there are more lights coming into the camera if your aperture is large, but here it's not. The darker shadow can be minimized if the CW300 has WDR or wide dynamic range. I was told the CW400 has WDR. If we check here in image settings under the camera settings of CW300, there's no WDR here. Then if we go to the C400 indoor camera, under camera settings, under image settings, here you can see WDR or wide dynamic range mode. I turn that on. The Mi 2K Pro also has this WDR. WDR enhances clarity of underexposed or overexposed parts of the image. In the case of CW300 image, the shadow is the underexposed. It could have been enhanced if the camera has WDR. Except for darker tone due to a little bit lower brightness, overall the image of the CW300 is crisp thanks to its 4 megapixel lens. The lens of the camera can digitally zoom 6 times, or it can close up to about 50 feet by pinching the screen display. However, for zoom images, a license plate of a vehicle 60 feet away from the camera is no longer readable, while it is completely blurred for this license plate of a vehicle 85 feet away from the camera. I had a hard time setting up and pairing the camera to the Mi Home app due to unknown connection problem. I repeated the process several times. I can't connect the camera via Wi-Fi directly to the router. Try this one. Surprisingly, it connects easily to my Wi-Fi repeater, which is located upstairs while I was in the living room. Okay. I tried to connect again directly to my router, but again it failed. So I'm suspecting that the CW300 has problem competing with my other 2.4 GHz devices connected to the router. I have lots of devices connected to the 2.4 GHz. I tried restarting my router, but still the camera cannot connect to the network. The main feature of this camera is its ability to connect via Ethernet or LAN cable. Let's see if indeed wired connection is faster than wireless for the CW300. By the way, before transferring the connection from wireless to LAN, I made a log comparison between CW300 on Wi-Fi and Tapo C320ws on LAN. Going to raise my arm in 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. My hands is now in the middle. I'll move up in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a delay of about 1 second. Again, 1, 2, 3. So there's a delay of about 1 second. When you set up this camera for the first time, you will be asked to choose whether to connect to Wi-Fi or through the LAN cable. But if you had already set this up with Wi-Fi, there's no instruction on how to shift to LAN connection. Worst, after at least 7 attempts, I failed to connect to my home network using LAN. I then decided to revert back to Wi-Fi connection. More on the setup and installation, including its difficulties, in this previous video I posted earlier. Another new Xiaomi feature that is added to the CW300 is its light and sound alarm. The sound and light alert go off when the camera detects a person, but if you place the camera in front of the road, chances are the alert will be triggered from time to time and may be annoying in the long run. I set the sound and light alert on, and you can see here the sound alert is alert tone. Then I enable the light alert, and effective time is anytime daily. Now let's check my notifications. This is, you see here, person detected. So this detection made an alarm. So if you check the setting here, or the detected surveillance video, the person is too far, and you see the light, and there's an alarm here. You see? So in other words, anything or anyone that is inside the frame, the camera detection will recognize, and at the same time it will turn on your alert if ever your alert is enabled. You may set the time for the sound and light alert to be enabled. So here I can custom schedule this one. Let's say I'll start at 10 o'clock in the evening, and I'll end at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day. This schedule will be synchronized with my watch area setting, so that the camera will only sound off an alert when detections or human detection is noticed or recorded in a specific area or my watch area that I am designating. We can also customize the sound alert. We can record our own voice, smile your own camera, and you can choose that if you want as your alert tone. Smile your own camera. There are 2 events that the camera will push notification for. It's either motion is detected or if someone is passing by the camera. If you check the surveillance and similar to other Xiaomi cameras and other cameras, including other brands like Tapo, you will be flooded with motion detection notices also like this. You see that? There are a lot of motions here. Motion, 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 motion. Okay, motion detected. But if you check if what is being detected, only movements of the leaves of a tree. So if you install the camera in front of trees, then probably you would receive several detection notices. That's why I just turn off the notification for motion detection here. Human tracking on this camera is smooth but not so fast moving. However, it will respond appropriately to human movement. It doesn't react to motions like movements of trees. It can detect human at a distance and follows human movement. If you set smart frame under image settings, then human is tagged and followed by this green frame. The person detection and the human tracking of this camera work well. Here are the recordings. If you can see here, there are signs of person walking. So remember, there are only two event type. There are only two types of event notification for this camera. It's motion detection, and the other one is person passing by. So that's why you can see here walking sign. So let's try to check this video. It has a sign of a person walking. You can see there at the left side or leftmost portion of the frame, there is a person walking with his dogs. Then let's check until the camera tracks. So once the person is going out of the frame, the camera will also moves. Okay, take note of this video. The person with his dogs is passing by, but the camera did not move because the camera was locked to the first persons that it was able to detect. Take note at the foreground, the grass is moving, but the camera is not reacting to it. The human tracking feature is not also reacting to pets. So look at that. Even if there are pets or dogs passing by, the camera tracking will not react. One thing I've noticed in this camera, if you are fast moving, let's say for example this one, the man with his dog was running, so the camera did not move. That's why if there are vehicles passing by the camera will not track the vehicle. So also this motorbike, the camera wasn't responding, not even on this bike. So look at this strike. The human tracking is not triggered. So this camera really detects a person and it only tracks human, not animals, not vehicles, and not even person running. Okay. I created an automation for the CW300. You can see here the title of the automation is Side Vacant Lot Person Detected. Now, if I open that, the condition is if person is detected by the camera, then it will send notifications to my phone. I set the time for the automation to take effect at every 8 o'clock in the evening until 00, meaning midnight the next day. So it's about 4 hours. Now, it's already past 8 o'clock. If you check the notification bar of my phone, you can see a lot of uh, notifications about the person detected by the camera. Now let's go back. Let's check the uh, scene. So that's the setting of my camera. So if a person is passing on the road, then it will be detected as a person. So naturally, I can receive notifications from the camera. So what I'm going to do is adjust the camera so I can put it like this. I can only concentrate on the side vacant lot of my property so that whenever there is a intruder near my property or beside my property, it can be detected as a person at every 8 o'clock in the evening until midnight. So by that setting of the camera, I would be minimized or at least not be able to receive notification unless a person is going to intrude in this area. In this video, the camera is positioned on its watch area, then it moves as soon as it detects a person walking or passing by. Then it tracks the person. After tracking a person, the camera moves back to its watch area position. Like other cameras, movements of this camera can be manually controlled using the K control here, the one at the rightmost portion next to the camera. If you press this one, it turns green, then you can open the control. You can pan to the right, and you can see the monitor there, and it can go back to left. It can tilt up, you can tilt down. You can also control the camera movement using the screen display. So I'm swiping the camera to the left, so the movement goes to the right. If I swipe to the right, the camera head goes to left. If I swipe up, the camera goes down. If I swipe down, the camera goes up. The camera's tilting is limited up to here only, but tilting down is much better because it can see just below it. You see that? And this is very useful when you put this on top of your doorstep. I set the sensitivity setting for detection at low, but still pushing notification to phone is quite fast. Here, after about 6 seconds since the camera starts detecting me, notification was sent. Okay. The microphone sounds muffled in my test.
This camera has only one microphone.
However, the sound from the speaker is loud and clear. Smile, you're on camera. All Xiaomi cameras that I have tested work even the internet is down. Let's try removing the fiber path cord from the router and let's see if the CW300 still work. This is the fiber path cord from our ISP, so it means I have already disconnected the router, and you can see here the LOS indicator light indicating that we lost connection to the internet service provider. Now let's go outside and see if the CW300 is still functioning. So its human tracking is functioning and also the sound and light alarm is functioning. So this is good. The CW300 cannot be viewed on the PC Viewer app of Xiaomi. This is my C400 camera. This is my Mi 2K Pro camera below, and my old 360 1080p and my magnetic mount camera. So the CW300 is not here in the PC Viewer app. This camera has only two storage options, micro SD card of up to 256 gigabytes and cloud storage, which is for subscription. Although you can enjoy free subscription for the first 3 months after purchasing the unit. Here I put a class 10 128 gigabyte SD card. Like the rest of Xiaomi cameras, the minimum storage capacity of micro SD card is 8 gigabytes, which will be full in just 18 hours if you set the recording on 2.5K video resolution. For a 128 gigabyte card, it will last up to 12 days and 24 days for the maximum card of 256 gigabytes. I put the camera always on recording, okay? That's so that it will be on loop recording. Two of my Xiaomi indoor cameras can save videos to a network storage or NAS, but not the CW300. In fact, all outdoor cameras of Xiaomi are not NAS supported. The Xiaomi CW300 has an outstanding person detection and human tracking features, although it lacks a little bit of brightness, but overall the image is outstanding. The image is good to look at, but this is a security camera, not for portrait. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test the main feature of this camera, the LAN connectivity. I'll update this video once I figured it out why the LAN connection was impossible in my unit. I have already reached out Xiaomi by sending a message to their feedback mechanism and also to their Xiaomi support global. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss the update. Daghang salamat.